What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got something that is 65 million years in the making. This is the Iron Studios Jurassic Park final scene statue that I'm going to be taking a look at. You know, there are several movies in my past that I can remember every little detail about what I was doing when I first saw the movie or first saw the trailer. You know, like I can remember the first time that I saw the trailer to Terminator 2, what I was doing when I saw that. I remember who I was with when I first saw Return of the Jedi. And when I first read about Jurassic Park, I was working with my father. It was the summer of 1993, and I was working with him at this auto shop. He had me, working the summers there with him. I remember picking up reading this magazine about Steven Spielberg and how he was revolutionizing cinematography by bringing dinosaurs to life, in a realistic way on camera. And I remember seeing some of the pictures of the scenes from Jurassic Park, and I was like, man, I gotta see this movie. I begged my dad, I begged him all summer to take me, but my dad is not the type of person that will go see a movie on day one, right? So we had to wait it out, wait for all the crowds to end. And I remember he took me one Sunday to go see this movie at a theater that was featuring stadium seating, which was very new at that time. I had never experienced anything like that either. So that was a first for me. And when the first dinosaur rolled out on camera, I was floored, man. It looked so realistic. It was so cool. And of course, the T-Rex was the one that stole the show for me. I mean, what 13-year-old kid doesn't love a Tyrannosaurus Rex, especially a boy? So yeah, man, I really enjoyed that film. And flash forward to today, and my collecting habits now. It's funny to me how 3 years ago, or about 4 years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, my collection mostly consisted of comic book pieces. And now, I'm mostly movie pieces. I mean, granted, it's Star Wars, but I do collect a lot of movie pieces now, and I find myself reminiscing about the movies that inspired me and influenced me today, right? So I want to get more movie pieces in the collection. Nothing huge, but just to get some pieces of the movies that made me, right? So when it comes to Jurassic Park, there's really only two options for you if you want to get a statue of Jurassic Park. There's Prime One Studios, and then there's Iron Studios. And for a T-Rex, Prime One Studios has a few options. They have a 1/38 scale that's about $69, but I mean that's like a little puny little lizard. I don't want a T-Rex to be that small. I don't want them to be huge either, but I mean that's a little too small. They also have a T-Rex for this final scene, which is similar to like what I'm going to be unboxing here today, except that's the very, very end scene where the banner is kind of flowing in front of him and everything. And they really didn't say what scale it was, but that it was 14.5 inches tall. It cost $899, and then I'm thinking shipping on top of that from Prime One. Plus, I think it's not even licensed in the US, so that's another hurdle that I would have to overcome. They also have that same option in a much larger format, a 1/8 scale, big dinosaur at that point, with raptors, which look really, really good. But that thing is $2,000. So I don't know that I want to, invest that kind of money in a T-Rex just yet. So Iron Studios, right? Iron Studios has a great lineup of dinosaurs for you to be able to collect. And they were having a sale on Black Friday. So I was like, even better. And they have this T-Rex, the final scene with the humans. Grant was in it, and Ellie and the kids. So you had the heroes of the movie that were there as well, and you got some raptors, and then you have that scene where the T-Rex is about to eat the raptor, which I was like, okay, this is really cool. I like how that all fit. Starts out at $899, but with the sale, I paid even less. So I was like, that's the one. So that's what we're going to be unboxing today. So let's take a look at this box. All right, so here is this Jurassic-sized box. It looks awesome. It's got a stark red color and kind of like tapers down to a little bit more of an orange towards the bottom. You can see the silhouette of the Isle of Nublar, I think is what it's pronounced. I can't remember the name. But yeah, the island where the dinosaurs were, so that's kind of neat. The final scene right here, you got the Iron Studios logo, and then you got this Jurassic Park logo. It says 1/20th scale, demi-art scale. all right? And then on the side, you have Iron Studios, the final scene, and on the back, you have an image of what this whole diorama looks like, which comes in really handy. So this is what it is. Now the box, like I said, is pretty tall and pretty big, so you're gonna need some space, and the box is even bigger that it comes in. Not by much though. So this is 22 inches tall, 28 inches tall, 22 inches wide, and about 14 and a half inches deep. So you're gonna need about that kind of space to store this box once you have the dinosaur out. So let's get it unboxed. All right, and there it is all put together. The final scene from Jurassic Park. I really liked what they captured here. There's a lot of things I like about this statue. It's not perfect, right? It's a good statue. It's a great piece if you're a Jurassic Park fan, but there are a little bit of imperfections in the statue. Every statue has an imperfection. So I'll let you guys know about that, and you can make a decision if that is too much for you to buy or if you can live with it. So, you know, that's up to you. I really like the way they laid this entire scene out here. You got that moment where the raptor is about to lunge at Dr. Grant, and the T-Rex jumps in and, you know, bites onto the raptor and throws him, right? I love that scene. It was great. It had that really pumping music, you know, the Jurassic Park theme music kicks in right there, and it really like gets the blood pumping right there. Very, very cool end scene for this movie. So the base, I like. It's got a, you know, visitor center style, you know, theme to it, which gives me the vibes of the visitor center. Looks good. I like that the floor looks a lot like what it did in the movie, and you have that Jurassic Park logo here on the center. You also have a bunch of scattered bones, you know, from the dinosaur that they had on display inside of the visitor center that they got destroyed during the battle. So you have that all littered all over the place, and you have some rocks and stuff like that with some fossils in it, which look pretty neat. All right, and the T-Rex looks really cool too. He's very impressive, very big, but not too big, which is cool. So if you're looking to display this piece, the dinosaur stands about 11 inches tall because he's hunched over, but he's very wide. So let me try to measure it this way. So when you take into account the width of this, you're talking about 18 inches at the end of this tail, all the way over to where this is here. So it does have a considerable amount of width. In depth, you're looking at about 14 inches almost, 13, 14 inches in depth that you're going to need to be able to display this property. I like that they didn't do a full circle. They only did this half circle right here, and then it kind of like knifes in a little bit like a triangle. So it has that kind of shape to the base. It's kind of cut out and everything to give it that look of, you know, stone facade or something. But, you know, I like that they did that because it's going to make it easy to display that way. It doesn't take up too much space. You don't have that unnecessary circular background that would make it more difficult. All right. I think that as far as the sculpting goes on this, they did an incredible job on it. It looks very nice. They did an awesome job on the T-Rex. You can make out all of the textures in the skin. You can make out the textures in these folds underneath the mouth where that you can see that there. They have a nice wet tongue and everything. Lots of really sharp teeth, which look really cool. As far as the base goes and everything, and the raptors, they also have a lot of texture in them as well. And you can even make out things like the folds on the clothes for Dr. Grant, and even the texture in his pants. As far as paint goes, they did a fantastic job on the T-Rex, especially. The T-Rex looks really good. I think they did a great job on highlighting all of the different textures of the skin, which look great. You have different colors molded throughout, you know, so it gives it a nice appearance. And I think they did that it's because this is like the star of this piece. All right. The raptors are also painted pretty well, but not to the same degree as the T-Rex. Like in the eyes, you can even make out the lines in the iris. That's how much detail they went into the T-Rex. So I think that's really cool. There's blood stains on the teeth, you know, because he's eating different things. So really, really nice job on this. Now, when it comes to everything else, it's kind of muted and a little bit flat. I don't know if that was done intentionally or if they just, you know, kind of cheaped out when it came out to that. But I feel like they could have done with a little more washes in the base just to pump it up a little bit more. When it comes to the humans I think could have been done a little bit better. I understand that they're a smaller scale and they're not even facing you, because when you're displaying it, you're going to be looking at it this way. But When it comes to the look of everybody, I feel like they did a pretty good job with the kids. Like both the kids seem to look like the actors that played them in the movies. Dr. Grant, not so much. I don't really get the idea that it looks like him. I know who he is, I know what the scene is. When it comes to Ellie, I think she's the worst one. And it's mostly that they kind of look a little cartoony, especially Ellie. They painted in these eyes and they made the eyes look really big and you can make them out. And I don't think that you would be able to make them out if somebody was this small. You wouldn't be able to see like the pupils in my eyes, at this distance. So I think in that sense, they could have done that a little bit better. But again, you're not looking at her. She's aimed in the other direction, so you're just going to see the back of her head. As far as the paint on her body and the blood and the dirt and the grime that's all over, they look dirty and they look like they've been through hell, on Jurassic Park. So I think that part is done really well. So at least for me, I think this is a nice piece for my collection. This is exactly what I wanted. I felt for the price, it was great. Even for the $8.99, I think it's a really great price just because you're getting more than just the T-Rex. You have some raptors in there. You got the humans in there. It has more of a scene, I think. I think the only thing that's probably even missing is maybe that banner, but that really doesn't happen until a little bit after this scene, so I understand why it's not included. But I think it's an incredible piece. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments below. And until next time, keep it marvelous.